Merhaba arkadaşlar, kanalıma hoş geldiniz. Bugün Max Payne'in 3. bölümüyle karşınızdayım. Uzun zamandır videosu gelmiyordu. Bunun sebebi telefonumu ayarlayamamam falan. Dost diyor. Uzun zaman oldu ciddi anlamda. Bir türlü nasip olmadı telefonumu ayarlayayım falan. Hala close diyor. İnşallah şu gerizekalı şarkının telif yemem. Ananı sikeyim, burayı açmış.
The book had never been a bestseller.
Kitapta ne yazılmış?
Given the setting, I was surprised to find that somebody had been passing time reading. The paperback was entitled The Age of Murder and Storm. The blurb on the back mentioned Norse mythos and Ragnarok, the end of a Viking world with a terrible winter that covered the earth in ice, when vile crimes were rampant and all humanity lost. I could see how somebody impressionable might get it into their head that we were at the end of time. I was also beginning to see what the nightclub and its owner were all about.
Evet. Şimdi vuralım. Orospu çocukları bomba atıyorlar. Save alalım. Canımı emdiler ha. Bu az siktir. Şuradan mı atıyorlar? Aa, kafa bulduk. Onları sikim, az daha ölüyordum ha. Fena. Çok ortalıkta bir yerde sev aldım ama hayırlısı.
Books on the occult had been piled on the table.
Burada bir kitaptan var.
The room was stacked with light reading, such as Necronomicon, Witchcraft, and Paradise Lost. Old exotic titles like Malleus Maleficarum and De Umbrarum Reini Novum Portis. Books with pentagrams on their covers, all dealing with the occult and the infernal. Lying between stacks of horror videos and a couple of Ouija boards. The only thing I could take seriously was the thought of Lupino taking it seriously. He had been spending a lot of time getting intimate with the guy downstairs.
Hazırım lan. Şuradan bir save edelim. Üst katta falan dedi. Başka bir yere mi gireceğiz? Yo, buradan geldik zaten. Oradan bence bir yer bulacağız ya. Buraya giriliyor mu? Giriliyor. Aa, ağrı kesici buldum ha. Buradan bir tuşmuş falan mı bulacağız acaba? Aa, tamam. Piçin oğlu bir anda çıktı karşıma. Şuradan sebettim. Şuradan yürünür diye düşündüm. Bir deneyeyim dedim. Mal gibi aşağı düşüp ölmek istemedim çünkü. Oo. Oraya sırf can için geliniyormuş demek ki. Bir daha sevdin de oraya gitmekle uğraşmayalım. Ölürsün. Oha, tek attı lan. Sikerler lan. Amına. Oğlum bunlar nasıl bana tek atabiliyor? Şuradan bir kapıdan geldiler. Ha buldum, yol buldum. Sen de gelsene lan. Onu fark ettim. Çiftli pompalı olduğunu fark ettim. İki gösterip sıçayım ağzına dedim. İşe yaradı. Bu arada sonunda şarkı bitti. Şurada yol var. Sevda. Oyunda çok önemli. Aşağıya bir kapı açtı. Bekle, mermimi değişti. Oha! Bana koyduğum füze çakıyor sanki. Sikerim ya, böyle saçma şey olur mu ya? Orospu çocuğuna bak, götü boklu ikramla sıkıyorsun ya. Nereden nereye geçtik amına koyayım. Saçma sapan işler yapıyoruz şu an. Yolu buldum. Senin Ingram'ını sikeyim. Amına koy. Amına koy. Çok iyi, tamam. Şu an 2 ölme eylemine gidiyoruz. İyiyiz ya. Ne oluyor amına koyayım? Ha, yolu bulduk. Ananı siktim sen. Üf be, ne çekilim be. Buradan yukarı çıkacağız. Ayarlayacağız. Yukarıda ayarlayacağız. Ona göre buradan birini açacağız, birini kapatacağız. Ona göre geçeceğiz. Bak, çok güzel yollar açtık da. Bu açık kalacak. Sanırım açtım. Çok uzakta adam çıkarmayın. Pompalı değiştiremiyorum ya. Aa, değiştiriyorum lan. Çift baretteye al o zaman. Haydi bismillah. Ben kırılır diye koşa koşa geçiyorum, adam orada duruyor. Saçmalığa bak.
The backstage area led to Lupino's inner sanctum. The hot air inside was like an invisible wall, thick with incense and something else, a sickly sweet smell that made you gag. This was the rotten core of the Big Apple. Lupino lurked somewhere ahead, like a spider at the center of his web, waiting. The vapors in the air started to make my head swim. Torn pieces of a letter lay scattered on the sofa.
Nereye geldik la biz? Ünlem gözüküyor. Aha.
Punchinello had threatened Lupino in writing. The note had been torn to pieces, bloody fingerprints all over them.
Don't want you to think that one of my boys is not playing with a full deck. Shape up, Jack. We are running a business here. I'd hate to send the trio to strong-arm you.
The trio were the Don's notorious henchmen. It was obvious that Lupino hadn't been intimidated by the threat. Punchinello had threatened Lupino and...
Tamam, bu kadarmış.
The flesh of fallen angels! Come to me all! Astaroth, Beelzebub, Asmodeus, Baphomet, Lucifer, Loki, Satan, Cthulhu, Lilith, Ella!
Illuminati.
To you all! Secrets living under the skin of reality. I've seen it. The corruption of...
Anamızı sikecek gibi duruyor ama korku filmi bozdu sanki. Ama
I'm the wolf, yeah! I am the wolf!
ben vursun diyor.
It's close. It's coming. You have come to the end of time. It's now! I will rise to her side! I don't need the words! I demand the words!
Neredesiniz lan? Hepinizi sikeceğim amına. Amına koydum Matrix tipli bebeleri. Sen neredesin? Sen çok yukarıdasın. Ha, işte bu. Ama adamın dibinde başladık.
I had known there'd have to be a catch in it somewhere, and this one was the Empire State Building of catches. Lupino was pumped up and dying to go 15 rounds with a mutant alligator. And then he started this spooky monkey talk, straight from a bad dream. Mine.
I have tasted the flesh of fallen angels. I've tasted the devil's green blood. It runs in my veins. I've seen beyond a world of skin, the architecture of blood and bow and arrow. Death is coming! She is coming, and hell follows with her. This is the twilight winter. I am ready to be her son. Her time is now, and all who stand in her way must die.
Yarrağı yedik.
Die! You'll die! You'll die!
Durduğum yere bak, amına koyayım. Oha! Evet. Biri gitti. İkincisi de gitti. Sıra kaldı boss'ta. Kendini yakıyor gerizekalı. Çüş çüş. Biraz mala etmemiz lazım. Aha. Oh be. Sonunda amına koyayım.
When Lupino finally went down, I wanted to make real sure he'd stay that way. V was a bad monster. Turned them into friggin' zombie demons from outer space.
I think he's dead already.
Huh? And that's when it happened.
But dead or not, you've got the wrong guy.
In stepped this knockout femme fatale holding a gun to my face. I returned the favor.
Burası kim lan?
Lisa Punchinello. Lisa Punchinello was the Don's wife.
Mona Sachs, Lisa's evil twin.
Your safety's off, evil twin. You might hurt someone with that gun of yours.
Lisa's the damsel in distress. I'm the professional. I'd blow you away without batting an eye.
Sure, and you can check out my credentials splattered all over this joint.
Jack couldn't have framed you, not the state he was in. We're after the same slime bag. Angelo Punchinello's the one who murdered your friend and framed you with it.
You know this for a fact.
I've got my sources.
I don't have a clue these days. I just shoot them as they come. Who put a contract on the archfiend?
This one's mine. I hate the guts of that sadistic wife-beater. Why not pool our bullets for this one?
I thought you'd never ask. My finger was starting to twitch.
How do you like your whiskey?
I'm easy, as long as you don't try to slip me a Mickey.
You're a real angel, Max.
It was good stuff. Tasted sweet as honey going down.
Nothing personal. Can't risk you going berserk and getting Lisa killed.
Aa, ilaç atmış bize. Orospu.
The nightmare was always the same. Violent shapes moving in darkness, old and ugly. The killer's mad laughter was a riddle filled with wicked innuendo.
Ananı sikeyim, kulağım gitti.
Somewhere, the baby was crying.
Özürlü gibi yürüyoruz. Böyle yürüyorum lan, böyle daha hızlı gidiyorum. Evet, sonunda doğru yolu bulduk herhalde. Anasını sikeyim. Bir saattir dolaşıyorum, bir saat. Bir yandan bebe alıyor.
Pictures were filled with good old times.
Düşemiyoruz. Haydi. Bir labirent daha.
I really love to watch cartoons. Captain Baseball Bat Boy's my favorite.
Evet, yolu buldum. Oh be, Allah belasını versin, amına koyayım. Eğer oyunda hani nasıl geçilir diye tutorial kısmında olarak beni izliyorsanız izlemeyin, ben buraları kestim.
No, please God, no.
Allah belasını versin, böyle saçma şey yapılmaz ya. Ya aga tamam, korkutmak istiyorsun, bu kısımları yolla, eyvallah. O anı yaşayalım diye böyle hissedilir, psikolojimiz bozulmuş falan. Onu göstermeye çalış.
Shoot 'em full of holes, blow 'em to
Labirent
bits,
amına koyayım.
vaporize 'em, disintegrate 'em. No matter what you do, they'll still be back good as new.
Michelle's diary lay on the table.
Max, no, please, Max. Why? I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Ezberledim valla. Uyuyunca rüyamı tekrar edeceğim yani. O kadar ezberledim, rüyamda tekrar edeceğim yani. Ağlama sesleriyle takip ettim yolları. Bir saat.
Murderer! You killed her!
Nothing like that ever happens in the real world.
Cehennemde soğuk bir gün. Beyzbol sopası.
I woke up in a bad dream. My head felt 2 sizes too small for my brain.
Max Payne. I envy your name.
And the killer was smiling.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Frankie the Bat Niagara.
Niagara, as in you cry a lot? He had a baseball bat and I was tied to a chair. Pissing him off was the smart thing to do.
Nothing wrong with a little laugh now and then. Take me, for example. I love to watch cartoons. Cartoon violence is a fascinating thing. Let's take a break. I need to take a leak and maybe grab a cold one at the bar. Don't worry. I'll be back to finish this off. And then, it's checkout time.
You play, you pay, you bastard. He swaggered out, and the door clanged shut behind him, locks clicking into place.
Lan babası kilitlesin.
Everyone makes mistakes. Mine hadn't been to crack jokes about the goon with the bat. He'd have cracked my skull regardless. It hadn't even been to trust a girl with a gun. I had blindly gone after the first bad guy on my hit list when I should have been aiming further up the ladder, at the head of the Punchinello family. I couldn't bring myself to be pissed at Mona. Guess I had a soft spot for a pretty face. But when somebody decides to play baseball with your head, you tend to get sore.
Kız o kadar güzel değildi bu arada.
They had dragged me back to the basement of Lupino's hotel. I was beaten, bruised, and blue. I felt like the chair I had broken to get free.
Aa. Buraları az çok hatırlıyorum oğlum. Burada herif vardı, ölü beyzbol sopası görmüştüm.
All I had was Niagara's bat, sticky with my own blood.
Yarra yedik. Can da yok, bir bok da yok.
Without a gun, I'd be no match for Frankie's men. I'd have to play hide and seek with them.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah, I know. Just I wouldn't mind having a...
Hadi be.
I just I wouldn't mind having a go at him myself.
Hold it!
Bu sefer aldık gibi. Hadi oğlum. Bitti gibi. Oh be. Oh be bile demiyorum. Oh be diyorum, yani konuşamıyorum. Anasını sikeyim ya. Başka kırılacak var mı? Varmış, bulduk. Tamam, burası bu kadar herhalde. Of be. Rahatladım, harbi rahatladım şu an ya. Bir saattir uğraşıyorum. Komik bir tarafı yok, o yüzden koymadım yani. Çok kısmı kestim. Çok iyi. Ufak bir takılma yaşandı.
Another newspaper caption for a murder scene.
Oyun eski olduğu için takılıyor. Buna bir çözümüm yok yani.
Frankie had left his calling card, a Captain Baseball Bat Boy strip, next to a sewer passage filled with bodies.
You'd better not mess with Captain Baseball Bat Boy. Even my arch enemy, Bicycle Helmet Girl, swoons at the sight of me. Aha!
There were enough corpses to put a mass murderer to shame.
Evet arkadaşlar, asansör buldum. Şimdi buradan devam ki. Arkadaymış o. Beni mi fark ettiler? Niye bomba attılar lan? Onurunu sıçayım. Ne vurdu be? Şimdi sıçacağım ağızlarına. Heh. Şimdi sıçacağım ağızlarına. Direkten sektirsek. Yemedi gibi ama. Tamam, güzel. Piçe bak, nereye saklanmış ya. Bitti herhalde.
Things were fast going from bad to worse. The men in blue had come and gone. They had decorated the place with chalk outlines and tied it together with yellow tape. The cops who had stayed behind were dead. Frankie, his boys, and I had the place all for ourselves.
Frankie'nin burada olduğunu nereden biliyorsun amına?
Just forget about it. Just forget about it. Hey, just forget about it. That crazy witch, you should have heard her. She was a real scream when the boys caught her trying to cap the Don. Oh, that's friggin' bad. To the trio? That's even worse than what Frankie's doing to that poor bastard downstairs. She's gonna take a long time to die.
The mobster muscle on the phone was talking about Mona. Punchinello's trio were nothing but bad news.
Selam beybiler.
More evidence that Punchinello didn't like me much.
The fact remains that all the victims so far identified in the Ragnarok shooting have been known criminals, many of whom had large doses of V in their blood. Reliable sources say that Max Payne was also among those killed, although no body has been recovered at this time.
Reliable sources. That meant somebody thought the Mafia had me, didn't want the cops snooping around anymore. The body would be delivered to them barely recognizable. Case closed. Don Punchinello had the power to be that reliable source, which was no news. But his news was old news. Framing me hadn't been enough. Don Punchinello had put a hit on me. He wanted me dead, and it had been important enough for him to give written instructions to Frankie about it.
Max Payne should die like a dog for the trouble he's caused. Frankie, I know I can trust you to give this matter the dedication it needs.
Evet, şimdi biz Frankie'yi mi bulacağız buradan? Aha.
The hotel bar was fast developing quite a history. True to his words, Frankie was there, having a beer.
Jesus Christ. How the hell did you get loose?
Got bored waiting. Thought, what the hell, we could just as well finish this here.
Fine by me.
Yine mi ya? Aynı yere niye bir daha geliyoruz ki? Ah ama. Tamam, bunu da vurduk. Bir save daha. Tamam. Şimdi ananı sikeceğim. Orası çocuğu.
Thank you. You've been a lovely audience. Had enough? I don't play with girls anyway. Unfair!
I spotted the tail as soon as I left the hotel. A big black Mercedes. I had seen the car before. That time it had heralded impressive explosions. Vladimir was back.
Bang. You're dead, Max Payne.
I might have laughed if I remembered how. What's this supposed to be? Cops and robbers? Look, you want something with me? Get in line.
Peace, man. Relax. You know you are a real news item. Armed and dangerous. I am going to make you an offer you can't refuse. I've always wanted to say that.
It's a bum rap. I've been framed.
That's a moot point. Whatever you did or did not do, I'm sure you had good reason for doing it. Want to hear me out?
I'm listening.
Punchinello messing with V is bad for business all around. But that's not all. There is this guy, Boris Time, used to pull jobs for me. He's the captain of the cargo ship Charon. Now the bastard turncoat has gone over to the other side, Punchinello's. The ship's loaded with high-res hardware, guns, my business. If Punchinello gets hold of that cargo, he's won and I have lost. And you'll have your work cut out for you. If you want to get to Punchinello, you need heavy-duty persuaders. I am just the man to get them for you. Change the ship back under my flag, maybe pop 2 in the traitor Dime's head while you're at it. You'll get enough guns to start the apocalypse. You in or out?
Let's get this show on the road. Vladimir was one of those old-time bad guys with honor and morals, which made him almost one of the good guys. None of us was a saint. The Brooklyn riverfront was a maze of rusty containers, sharp-boned cranes looming up from the snowstorm. On a night like this, you couldn't help but think of the dark army of dead men sleeping with the fishes, cement shoes in line. No Minotaur lurked in this labyrinth, but somewhere out there, on the clanking deck of his cargo freighter, the skipper of the Chiron was waiting, like the ferryman of the river Styx.
Şurada bir sevi çakayım da rahat rahat. Evet arkadaşlar, bu videomun da sonuna gelelim. Beni beğenseniz beğenmeyi, beğenmezseniz beğenmemeyi, videolarımı hoşunuza gidiyorsa kanalıma abone olmayı unutmayın. Kendinize bakın, görüşmek üzere. Hoşçakalın.
Yeah.